Laura, Jez, British theater's coolest power couple. I'm so honored to have you in the onstage studio. That's according to Vogue.
Thank you very much.
You're not Broadway's coolest power couple. What do you say about that?
Well, we'll see what we can do about that, but your check will be in the post for opening with that. Thank you very much.
I love this play. It's brilliant. Jez, you know I'm a big fan of your work. We get to see the two of you back in action on a Broadway stage, the hills of California. Before we dive into our conversation, just set up the play for our viewers at home. You play two characters, Veronica and Joan, a mother and her daughter.
Yeah.
Just set the play up for us.
So the play is based in Blackpool, which is a small, well, seaside resort in the north of England that was kind of known throughout its history as somewhere that had a bit of showbiz, a bit of glamour to it.
Atlantic City for us. Here.
Yeah, pretty similar. And we see it in two time periods, the 1970s and the 1950s. And it follows the story of essentially these four sisters grown up in the 1970s, gathering to see their mother off as she is passing away upstairs. And then we go back to the 1950s and see their childhood with the same mother and find out what it is that informs the kind of the situation that they find themselves in the 70s.
It's moving, it's haunting, and it is inspired. You were inspired to write this piece. This play lived with you for a long time based on an actual death in your family, Jez, correct?
Yeah, and my sister's passing had a huge effect on this. Generally speaking, this play, like all my plays, doesn't bring you new subjects. You know, it's about death and dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got anything else for you, really. I feel that one's not, was in fashion 3,000 years ago and will be in fashion in 3,000 years. So formally, I love the blues and I love the old forms. So I'm trying to play the blues as best as I can.
And what was it about your sister's passing that really sparked this idea?
I think it was seeing how people behave when they have to gather for extended periods of time, in our case, and how they each respond differently. And that you are suddenly thrown together as a family, again, under the same roof, almost like in some kind of bizarre reality TV experiment.
Truly. Where
you're returning to previous modes of behavior at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously you two are a couple in real life. You, in many ways, are Jez's muse. He's written plays for you or with you in mind. Here in New York, we've seen The River, The Ferryman, and now The Hills of California. Yeah. What is this collaboration like? I mean, do you leave the work at the theater and then you go home and you raise your daughters together? Like, what is that collaboration like?
Pretty much. I mean, I think that we love working together and we have a lot of fun doing it. And I think that that's primarily why we do it. But it also doesn't involve us bleeding into each other's role in it very much. I mean, you write and you kind of come to me early on with an idea for something, and is that something that it sounds like I might want to do, and then it gets written, and then I take it and work on it with Sam and with a cast, Sam Mendes and with a cast, and do my part. So we don't tend to really talk about it even that much, especially not after I've come home from a performance.
Sure.
It's just like, it was good.
And can you say, these are intense plays that he's writing and you're starring it. I mean, are you ever like to Jez, babe, like the 3 hours and you're making me go through all this stuff?
Oh, for sure. He lured me in 12 years ago with a 90-minute play and I thought, oh, this is great.
And it works.
Do you write with her voice in mind?
I do. I really do. Just to speak for a moment to the whole couples working together, it's no different to running a store, running a family store, really. I think, except I do the day shift, she does the night shift. We do very, very different parts of it. Anyway, I do write with her spirit in mind, rather than her voice, because often the voices that she's going to be using are new, not just to me, but to her. But there's a definite spirit there that I would struggle to define. So it is quite close to the idea of a kind of an unknowable muse in the traditional sense.
I love it. Your plays are very cinematic, and there's so much to kind of dive into there. I see this being a film. Do you see this turning into a film or a series or something?
I don't, because somebody else is going to have to play one of my characters.
Be honest. Be
Not
honest.
having that. I mean, I guess it is cinematic, but it takes place in, like all my plays, in one location and usually in, usually in one time frame. I don't know. I write film and I write television and I write plays, and there seems to be no crossover between any of those forms for me. It's really clear when something is a play, that it comes across as something that is as engrossing and as visually astonishing as a film can be, is thrilling, but I can't see the join.
All right. I just want to know more about these people, you know? I want to know more, so we'll continue our conversation off camera and I'll learn more. Until then, folks can catch The Hills of California, now playing at the Broadhurst Theater. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. For more stories in your communities, click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest news and weather updates every 10 minutes and more. We'll see you then.